Hey, everybody. Uh, Wanted to show you the latest of what we're working on with Aya. And I am currently trying to get connected here to Instagram Live as well, but for whatever reason, I can't be. So let's go ahead and just dive in and see what's going on. So it's going to be a short video tonight. I'm tired. I'm beat. I want to go to bed. But let me show you here what we're working on. So I have now gotten to a point where I want to start working on Substack and starting to produce content on Substack a little bit. So what I'm trying to do here is have Aya help me with like a weekly idea of what it is that we can do to connect our thought leadership to a broader audience. And by I say our thought leadership, I mean remove the Lee6 brand as the primary and start to use my personal brand and what I do to teach profitability and learning and everything like that. So what you see in front of you is the work product from today of our test run with Aya. And what we essentially did was set it up so that Aya will research on a daily basis some ideas about things that I can write about. And the goal is to produce content on Substack once a day. And we've got time blocked out on our calendar to where I can go through and actually read the things and edit the things that I want to write. Aya will draft them based off of a tremendous amount of training data of my voice and information. But this is the product. It's just a Google Doc that'll be updated on a daily basis and give me a hook angle in the sources that came from, so that our Monday morning blocks, Aya can draft, because I'm just not a great drafter, but I'm a fantastic editor. And I know what I want to say, so I can vocalize my thoughts about what it is that I want to do far better than I can write them down. But this is the work product, and this is an automated thing that we have set up. What also happens, this is the amazing thing, is I was able to set up a Slack channel so that Aya on a daily basis sends me a note if she makes an update. I keep saying she, if it makes an update to the ideas for the week. And so I'll be able to sit here and see what those Substack ideas are and then link out to the Google Doc to be able to see that. The coolest thing about this is that Aya and I set this up together this morning after we went through some technical setup. And so this is all part of the training process of me, so that I know how to communicate to there what I do, there we go, there I am. So we know how to communicate to Aya better when it comes to setting up the automations, because the next natural step to all of this is to setting up our workflows as they exist now, using the AI employees that we have created. So this essentially created a couple of different AI employees that are now linked together. An AI employee for research, an AI employee for drafting, an AI employee for the administrative task of notifying me of information. And so what we'll also be able to do is create these same connected AI employees to be able to produce this for Abby and Lorelei and other team members as they come on. But here is the cool thing about how this conversation happened. And I'm going to switch to a different screen in the hope that I can, if I can cancel out of this, or replace this with a different screen here. And this is the chat thread that we went through to basically start the conversation. And it went through the process of this is all training from the Substack ideas. And so all of these things really came about to create this agent. I mean, this is the beauty of what people are working on right now. I think it's cool. I think it's neat that people are using AI right now through things like Cowork to be able to automate some of this stuff from the desktop app. But you have to think about these things from the perspective of how can they be used as part of our integrated team. I mean, that's really how you have to treat this process. And the goal here is not to replace people on the team. I mean, yes, there will be the effect of you probably wouldn't add as many people as you would otherwise. But the productivity gains here for the people that you do currently have on your team will allow you to scale in ways that you probably didn't think were possible just a year ago, let alone a few years ago. So again, focus on how you can augment your team. So from my perspective, I want to be on Substack. I think it's an important way for me to share thought leadership as the leader of Leasix Agency. I also want to make sure Lorelei, who has a responsibility for doing some content production and system management inside of our Go High Level White Label Leasix Pro, we will be able to leverage Aya to automate a good bit of that work for her. And that doesn't absolve her of the responsibility of being the final human to look at everything. And the same with Abby with our content production and the work that we do for our clients. But there is no reason why we should do 10 hours of work if it can take 5. And there's no reason why we should take 5 hours if it can take 2. And there's no reason we should take 2 if it can take 1. The goal here is not to work hard. The goal is to produce. And the goal is to produce valuable outputs at the end of any process. That goal has not changed from when we had human labor intensive processes. It's the same sort of thing here. The human labor intensive part is different. It's now focused on quality, which is where it should be. And in the past couple of weeks and month, now that I've been reading a lot of Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy, that's what they always talk about with 10xing your outcome is 10xing the quality, not necessarily the quantity. But the idea here is that we can do both because we now have a way to automate a tremendous amount of work. And the beauty about the 90mm BOS is it uses the original Claude agent. And I know people are out there doing amazing things with OpenClaw and tying in multiple models, and I don't even question their capabilities. They're just thinking beyond me in terms of technical architecture. But I'm very confident that what we're doing here with the 90mm BOS is pretty effing awesome because it's actually focused on the constraint inside of our business, and it's designed to build from the constraint in anybody else's business. I just thought it was pretty cool to share like how far we've come in the past couple of weeks. And this is with having a trip to Disney, being incredibly sick, having a trip out to Oklahoma City. Sky's the limit on this stuff. It's cool to share with the world. And I like being able to share it in these live streams. So get to bed, everybody. I'm going to bed. It's late at night. We'll talk to y'all later.